Hi everyone, we're going to do this. Watch this. I'm going to scroll down and things are going to fade in. Watch. Oh, look at that. They fade in while you scroll up. We'll do it all together, then I'll show you how to kind of offset them as well. One more time. Let's have a look. Oh, magical. All right, let me show you how to make the magic. All right, let's create some more lightning bolts. So it's these elements here that I want to fade in. So I don't want to do it to the image. I want to do it to what's surrounding the image. In this case, I've got a div, okay, that's got a class applied to it called div class event. So give yourself a class if you don't have it, okay? It's a good way of reusing it later on. So let's go to the interactions. Now that I've got it selected, we still use this element triggers. Okay, we say this element here, I would like to do something different from before. We did mouse hover. We're going to use this one called scroll into view. So when this thing is scrolled into view, nothing to do with the mouse anymore. Okay, it's to do with the page scroll. And you kind of just follow it. You just say, okay, when it's scrolled into view, what you want to do. When it's scrolled into view, can you do the action of, I'm just going to get mine to fade in. Okay, fade in or fade out. I want to fade in. Let's go to preview and let's give it a test. Now, when you are testing, if I test here, just kind of load straight away. Okay, so what you need to do is kind of like go up to the top so you've got some scrolling to do. Now preview it and we're ready for the scrolling. Do you see it? Scrolled in. Doesn't kind of, it just loads once. Okay, doesn't kind of reset every time. Let's go again from the top. There it is. There's my page scroll. Okay, we're using those. Okay, let's look at something else because at the moment a lot of the actual animation is happening. It starts kind of happening like just the second it appears. Like just now it's fading in and could be finished by the time person gets there. So what's quite nice is with my my div wrapper selected, I want to use this offset. And it's to do with like the viewport. The viewport is like everything the person can see, the top to the bottom, okay? And I want to offset it so that it loads maybe, I don't know, a percentage after the, after the start of the page. So it's going to load probably, let's say that that's my 100%. It's going to load 17% about there. It's going to start activating, okay? If I turn it up to like, it's a hard one to explain. If I turn it up to 40%, it's only going to start activating once it's kind of, here's my 100%. It's going to wait till it gets 40% all the way up the page. Then it's going to activate. It's going to be a bit weird. It's a bit too much. So let's give it a go. You are going to be activated after 20%. Let's do that. Cool. Remember, start at the top, give it a preview, scroll along. And can you see it started quite far up on the page? Let's turn that off, turn that on again. There you go. So yeah, there you go. So what else can you do? You could do a delay instead of an offset. Okay, offset is going to wait for the physical part of how much scrollings get done. You could stop that, turn that back to 0 and say, I want a delay. I would like it to delay for this many milliseconds. 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second, okay, which takes way too long. Boop. Okay, so half it is 500 milliseconds. There you go. Let's give that a go. So let's preview. We're going to do a similar sort of thing. Watch this. If I scroll down, it's just going to take half a second before it loads. You decide what you want to do. It's probably better to use the offset because it's going to wait for a physical, like how high it is. Whereas the timer, watch this, I can kind of cheat the timer. If I go here and wait, it'll just look, oh, I didn't. Okay, let's go one more time. I'll be slower with my mouse. Slower, slow, come on. Oh, can you see? It loaded. I saw it peeked in and then started its little timer. Whatever works for you. There's no real right or wrong. Now, let's take this a bit further because I want to do it to all of them. So what we can do is we could go through and just add it to every single one, do the exact same process. It'd be handy because you'd get good at it. But let's say that I've got this, I've got that interaction. Down the bottom here, it says, hey, the trigger settings, it says, I would like it, not to the element now, which is at the moment, I'm just doing it to that physical thing. I wanted to do to everything that has the same class name. Okay, remember we've got that div class events and you can see it's applied to that one and that one. So we say class, go do it to all of them, please. Look, they've all got lightning bolts. Okay, and let's hit preview. Here we go. So scroll up to the top, and scroll down, and you can do multiple elements. Could you do it to the whole section? You could. It's probably easy just to do it to the section, Dan. So you could have done that exact same thing to the section and it would do the whole thing. Way easier than what I just did. Anyway, the nice thing about it though is because it's reusable, if I used, where is it? Div past elements. If I got something else, let's wrap that in a div. Do I need to wrap it in a div? I think I can just give it the class name of div past elements. Is this going to work? I should practice these things before I go and show you stuff. Let's give it a go. Go to the top. It's probably not going to work, is it? Totally works. Have faith in yourself, Dan. So that thing's reusable as long as you use the same class name. Okay, next thing I want to do is I actually want to offset it. At the moment, right, they all just appear at the same time. So I want kind of like one to fade in, next one, next one. So you can't do it with this kind of structure that we've got now where we're going to apply the same thing to all classes because yeah, they just apply to all one. So I'm going to say apply to the element again. And I'm just going to repeat myself. I'm going to say, all right, so we've got offset 20%, fade in, we can do that, but repetitive. So this next, this next div past events. Okay, we're going to say, let's add element trigger of our scroll into view. What action would we like to take? I want it to fade in and I want to offset it by 20% still. Actually, we might make this one to go 30%. It's a little bit higher before it actually starts activating. So it's a kind of way of timing it. We could do it with the actual delay as well, just like we did before. Up to you. Let's give this a go. So you have a trigger of scroll into view. Action is fade. I want it to fade in after an offset of 40. I have no idea how long, how this is going to look. Let's give it a go. Probably not very well. The percentages are probably a bit high. Start at the top, give it a preview. Let's go along. Yeah, it was all right. I think I'll try the delay as well. Yeah, let's try the delay because that was a little bit jumpy. So you page offset, we'll keep it all at 20%. So go into it, 20%, 0 for this one. The next one, we will go into it and say, stay at 20, because I don't want it kind of happening too early, but let's have a delay of say, a quarter of a second, 250 milliseconds. There we go. There's the next one here, same sort of thing. I'm gonna put it back to 20%, so it loads kind of 20% up the page, but let's have half a second, so 500 milliseconds. All right, let's give it, scroll to the top, preview. Oh yeah, what do you think? Is that a cool heart or a, We'll do custom animations later on in the course, but for the moment, and a lot of the time, they've done really well job at those kind of pre-built ones in these element triggers. All right, my friends, that is fade in when you are scrolling on a page in Webflow. That, my friend, is the end of the video, but not the end of the course. The video you just watched, it is a small part of my larger course called Webflow Essentials. So if you enjoyed the video, my teaching style, there'll be a card up here you can click or a link in the description, okay? And come join me for the full course. Like the video as well if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel for more stuff, but hopefully see you in the course. Bye.